Hello everyone, Stronghold Part 2 is officially live and they added the Kazimierz Alliance. So as a long-term Kazimierz Knight player, I had to put together a guide for this. I've already grinded out a lot of runs, so right now, I'm averaging around 400 stacks, not including the stacks for the other alliances. I'm gonna break down everything I've learned so far, of course. This is just my understanding, so if you guys have any different ideas, share them in the comments. Also, this is my first time making a full guide, so please excuse any mistake and let me know I can improve on for the future. Well, let's get started. Let's start with the basic, who is in the Kazimierz team. So we have Wildmane on level 1, Gravel and Ashlock on level 2, Meteor and Blemishine on level 3, Flametail and Fartooth on level 4, Mlynar on level 5, and lastly Degen and Nearl on level 6. The main draw of the Kazimierz Alliance is this 3 operator effect, a 20% attack buff triggered on each deployment. That might sound tedious to set up, but remember that at the start of each run, every operator you deploy apply this buff to your Kazimierz unit. For example, dropping a full team of 8 operators instantly grant them a massive 160% attack boost, provided that you have at least 110 stacks. But 160% is just the baseline. To push that damage even higher, we need to layer in 2 specific add-on alliances, Raid and Resilience. These are the best synergy to stack with Kazimierz Alliance, and we will go more in depth later in the video. As for the 6 operator effects, I usually avoid activating them unless my stacks are already set up where I'm lacking the raw DPS to clear the wave. Because you actually want the enemies to kill your operators, letting them have an extra chance to redeploy, which triggers the 20% attack buff again. Now, what strategies to use? Since we are running the Kazimierz Alliance, you might assume starting with the Mlynar strategy is the obvious choice. However, it's one of the worst strategies to swim pick. First off, it doesn't guarantee you a week to recruit a Kazimierz unit. Second, it caps out at giving you a max of just 3 extra fun. That means you are completely relying on shop RNG to hopefully roll 3 Kazimierz unit and all for 3 extra fun. Instead, I highly recommend starting with either Armor Guard or Emperor strategy. Armor Guard is by far the easiest way to play Kazimierz Alliance. The ability to instantly revive 3 defeated operator works perfectly with units like Blemishine and Gravel to build up your Kazimierz Alliance stack right from the start. The only catch is in the late game, once you have Nearl deployed, you will end up stealing all those revives, and unfortunately Nearl doesn't contribute to the Kazimierz stacks. But even with that one drawback, Armor Guards remain one of the best strategy you can pick. The strategy I prefer though is Ember. If you go with this route, I highly recommend stacking the Resilience Alliance as well, because once Gravel goes down a few times, you will get instant revive. If you can block a high damaging enemy with Gravel, she will constantly die and instantly redeploy. This creates a loop that prints Kazimierz and Resilience stack. The only real drawback to this squad is DP. You are going to be starving for DP and you got the Resilience stack fully built up. Now let's talk about the operators themselves. We can break them down into 3 main categories. First up are your standard operators, Wildmane, Ashlock, Meteor, and Flametail. A few of these will give you stacks when you buy them, but they aren't your main engines. Their primary job is just to hold the lane in the early game and fulfill the hit count requirement for your alliance buff. Next, we have your stackers, Gravel, Blemishine, Fartooth, and Degenbrecher if you manage to convert her into raid operator. And finally, we have your damage dealers, Mlynar, Nearl, Degenbrecher, and Viviana if you decide to add her in. Mlynar and Nearl are your main DPS here as they convert all the stacks into some ridiculous damage. Let's start with Wildmane, Ashlock, and Meteor. As I mentioned before, these 3 operators are mainly here just to hit the hit count requirements and hold down the lane during the early games. For their skill, you will want S2 on Wildmane. For Ashlock, both S1 and S2 works fine depending on whether you want more block or more DPS. And for Meteor, go with S1. She brings some surprisingly solid damage thanks to her being a solo op. And Wildmane is worth keeping so you can activate Swift alongside with Degen for one other Swift operator later on. Next is Flametail. She's a must buy whenever she appears in the shop. Simply purchasing her gives a Wildmane for Ashlock, providing 2 to 3 extra stacks, which you can also sell for 1 fun refund, but I recommend keeping them for the combination bonus. She also has a chance to give Fartooth, one of our main stackers. She is also highly worth keeping to obtain 3 copies to combine, which yields 2 additional copies of Wildmane Ashlock for Fartooth, alongside with a combination bonus, ideally Mlynar. Also, if you got an upgraded Flametail, if you see Suzerain, you can also grab her. Her recommended skill is skill 3, however if you are building up Swift Alliance, you want to switch her over to S1. Once you hit around 230 swift stacks, she basically gets infinite skill usage and becomes light. Now our stackers. First, Gravel. She's our Kazimierz and Resilient stacker. Since our main goal is to have Gravel die as often as possible, you will want to run her on S1 and place her where she can take damage easily. We can also equip her with items like Originian, Solvent, and Top Lungers to make her die faster. As I mentioned in the Ember strategy section, with Ember, once Gravel goes down a few times, Ember grants her instant revive. This creates a stacking loop for active Kazimierz and Resilience alliance. So once you hit 205 Resilience stack, it grants instant revive to every operator on your team. And finally, you will generally want to pair her with Fartooth to take advantage of Fartooth's deployment skill. Fartooth provides an on-deployment skill that targets the rightmost unit in her lane. If you drop a fast redeploy at Gravel in that spot, you can maximize your stack with 6 total deployments, meaning 5 redeployment. However, Gravel is no longer a raid operator, so it's harder to get her Q without extra support. Because of this, another option is to use a raid operator with an insta-cast skill like Nearl or Texas Alter. Because when they redeploy, if there's no enemies around, they will teleport, and that teleport counts as a new deployment. Both of her S2 and S3 works, but I prefer her S2 more. Also, Fartooth stack precision. Since she's our only precision operator, it usually isn't worth wasting a slot on another precision operator. But if you're meant to convert Mlynar into a precision operator, you can get some pretty good variety out of the stacks. And our last stacker, Blemishine. Blemishine is our easiest Kazimierz stacker. To hit her maximum stack, she only needs to be deployed 3 times, so that's just 2 redeployments. But because Blemishine is a raid operator, if you have another raid operator on the field and you place her in the back, she will teleport to the front, counting as a deployment, meaning she only has to redeploy once. On top of that, once you hit 50 raid stack, she will get plus 50 ASPD increase, which helps with her skill recovery. For her skill, I recommend S2 for crowd control and healing. Now our damagers. Let's start with Degen. On her own, she doesn't really have any special mechanics that interact with your stack. She basically just enjoys the massive attack buff generated by all those deployments, which leaves her with some ridiculously high raw attack stat. Her recommended skill is S3 as expected. However, if you manage to convert her into a raid operator using the Demazi's Isomorph and a raid grenade, everything changes. She essentially turns into Blemishine, but with double the stacking power. Now our first core damager, Mlynar. Mlynar convert all the Kazimierz stack into some ridiculous attack and HP. Also, the attack he gains here is added to his base attack, which means it fully scales with other alliance buff items and his own liberator trait. But there's a catch. This buff only lasts for 100 seconds. For example, his skill on level 4 costs 35 seconds to activate for the first time, lasting for 26 seconds. Then another 50 seconds for a second skill. That is 111 seconds for 2 skills. And for his skill on level 7, it costs 96 seconds, meaning generally only his first skill activation gets the full attack increase. But fortunately, if you have 5 elite operators for an upgraded Salgarni and T-Espresso, you can speed up his SP recovery to squeeze in 2 skill activation before the buff expires. Alternatively, redeploy him with Raid for Resilience. The timer does restart if he is redeployed. And now the last operator, Nearl. Nearl take all those Kazimierz stack and convert them into a massive attack speed buff and reduce redeployment time for whoever is placed directly in front of her. At just 102 stacks for 201 if she's not upgraded, you will get instant revival. But the revives aren't even the main thing here, it's the attack speed. The play here is to position Nearl facing Mlynar, allowing him to maximize his damage output during the 100-second window we discussed earlier. Her recommended skill is S2 as it works perfectly with Raid. Let's move on to the 2 must-have add-on alliances. First, Raid. We already have 2 Raid operators built into our Kazimierz team, Blemishine and Nearl. But since Nearl is a level 6 operator, it won't be able to activate Raid using Kazimierz unit alone in the early game. For the early game, I recommend grabbing a copy of either Utage or Hummus. They are perfect to hold on while you are rolling for the shot for Blemishine. That way, when Blemishine shows up, you can activate Raid already. Next is Ines. She acts as both a Raid and a Foresight operator, and she perfectly solves the DP issue Kazimierz can run into. She generates both DP and Foresight stacks. Just remember you need to keep a second Foresight operator. Plus, she comes with an Invest Reveal, which is nice just to have. It's worth quickly around to the end. Then we have Texas Alter. Her attribute gives you free shop refreshes. Something nice to have, but more importantly, she's a raid operator with an insta-cast skill, just like Nearl. This means if you are struggling to get gravel kill fast enough to build stacks, you can pure Texas with Fartooth instead to use the teleport trick we talked about earlier. And lastly, her Stir. She's honestly just a good damage dealer, but she also doubles as a good raid stacker. Next, Resilience. If you want to stack Resilience with gravel, you are going to need one more Resilience operator. There are two main operators I recommend, Lisgarm and Spectre Altar. Lisgarm is a level 1 shop operator. You can find her pretty constantly in the first few rounds. On top of helping you getting the resilience stack going, her talent actually gives her some solid DPS for early games. Then we have Spectre Altar. She's an incredible lane holder who doesn't really need much support to survive. Since your raid operator will sometimes teleport to a weird spot, she can be your backup lane holder. Plus, she generates a massive amount of resilience stack whenever she dies or swapped over to her substitute. We have 3 optional add-on alliance that work with Kazi. First, Swift. We actually already have 2 Swift operators built into Kazimier's team. However, Wildmane doesn't stack them very well, neither does Degen unless you manage to convert her into a raid operator. To fix this, you can bring in a Swift stacker like Nim for Thorn's Altar just to farm off those stacks. Once you get close to 230 Swift stacks, or if you just need Wildmane on the board to fulfill your 6 operator headcount, you can simply swap them back out. Next, Investor. Don't have any specific operator recommendation. You just need to buy any 3 Investor and let them sit on your bench. Just having them there will buff the attribute for Flametail, Wildmane, and Ashlock. Flametail will basically give you free combination bonuses. And finally, Precision. Under normal circumstances, you won't really use it since we only have Fartooth as a precision operator. However, because Fartooth also generates precision stacks, if you don't want it to go to waste, you can bring a temporary precision operator like Leonhardt, who's also a Swift operator. Later, you can retreat that temporary unit and convert Mlynar to a precision operator, making him even stronger. Here are some item recommendations. Original Solvent and Tough Plunger, the gravel item. If you see them, buy them. Next, Quick Comeback Ration and Sargonian Tea Espresso. They are the Mlynar items used to help Mlynar get his second skill cycle in the 100-second time frame. Next, Raid Grenade. It's used to convert Degen into a raid operator. It also works really well on raid operators. Lastly, Kazimierz Nightclub Pennant, used to convert to Kazimierz operator, but also work really well on Nearl. Now, how to pace your run. As we discussed earlier, our first main stacker is Blemishine, who is unlocked at level 3. Your goal is to run to level 3 and stay there until you secure copies of her, along with another raid operator to activate raid. During this process, you also want to grab gravel, her items, and resilience operators if possible. If you get lucky with combination bonus here, you are hoping to get Fartooth, Flametail, Ines, or Texas Altar. Once you get Blemishine, upgrade to shop level 4 to hunt for Flametail and Fartooth. Fartooth will be a second stacker, while Flametail here is mainly here to combine for a bonus operator, ideally giving you an early Mlynar. You can also start to build a Swift and Investor alliance if you are running them. After getting Fartooth, push to shop level 5. At this point, your main stack engine should be online. Then you're fun here picking up wherever you need to finish your add-on alliance or upgrade your core operators. If the run is going well, you can push to shop level 6, however it's not strictly necessary since you can pull Nearl and Degen from the combination bonus while at level 5. And that should be everything you need to know about the Kazimierz alliance. Here is a pretty decent run I have if you want to watch what I do. Just checking if anything I want to use is banned or not. And none of them are banned. Good. I cannot do the Emperor strat since I always build resilience. Perfect start. Got 2 things I need already.
就你们，值得我使出全力吗？可以好吗
Wildmane's defense is actually pretty insane on holding on enemies. Leveling up since I'm rushing shop and I just buy whatever item there is.
就你们，值得我使出全力吗？其他四
Might have greeted too much. Ooh, another Wildmane. Great. And then a coin. Ooh, the closure doll. I should probably buy it. I should probably use the fun and buy someone. Is it Gumi or should I buy Insider?
就你们， 值得我使出全力吗？
Probably Insider, right? Since Wildmane already has Swift.
各位别误会，
Okay, level 3 shop. That's good. Gravel also, and let me also buy this item.
就这
Then
里
let
了
me，put that item on gravel and then put it on the
就
original
这里
tile.
了。
And I can use it on Wildmane for also the Swift. Nothing I really need here. Let's refresh. Ooh, Meteor. Let me get that. Now
风吹
Kazimierz
向了正确的
activated.
地方。
Refresh again. Oh, Purple Launcher. I can put that on gravel. Anyone else? Not really. Do I want to buy Scotty? Scotty have durable, so probably not. Oh, Wildmane. Let me upgrade her.
可兵一击就倒啊！
And nothing really I needed here. Just take Carnelian.
这种血液沸腾的感觉，真是久违了。
Oh, Wildmane. Should I buy that? I already have an upgraded Wildmane. Yeah, let's do it. Let me refresh. Oh, Coin and Ashlock. Let me buy those two. Oh, Minimalist. Should I save fun? No.
战斗可没有。
可兵一击就倒啊！
你们真的这么固执的话，各位别误会，
是啊，各位，让我们省略掉麻烦的部分。
就你们，值得我使出全力吗？
就你们，是啊，各位，记起了，就这里了。
Oh, Meteor and Communicator. I should get these two. Also Hummus. Let me get that for the raid for Blemishine later. Nothing I really needed here. Hmm.
就你们，
你问我这车是谁的，我也不知道啊。
Oh, let's go. Blemishine. Refresh. I really need it. Should I get Krora? Krora has Resilient, which is needed for gravel, but she also has durable though. Yeah, let's take her for now.
你们这些笨蛋，我才是你们的对手。我绝不会退缩半步，光芒将坚守此地。
Let's refresh. Oh, Teammate and Swire. I should probably get Swire.
遵命。
Let me get rid of the coin and then buy Swire just for the investor later. Oh, Meteor and upgrade her. Should I get you? Yeah, you have Swift and Precision.
光芒将坚。
好，你们不是肉。
各位别误会，
可兵一击就倒啊！
Let me buy the Amiya Bunny for the money. Nothing I really needed. Teammate, let me buy him for investor and put it to the left.
来吧，来吧！
好了。
let's upgrade. And let me also get the bunny. Nothing really needed here. Oh, let's go. Blemishine and Flametail. Who should I sell? Let me use the item. Should I sell
特
the
兵一
E2
击就倒
Wildmane?
啊！ 就
probably
你
not.
们，值得我使出全力吗？
Yeah, let me show you. I just bought it though.
你喜欢文雅点的
Bunny
战斗方
and
式，
then
还
let's
是直
see.
接点的？
Let me sell Ashlock. I might get her again. Yeah.
战斗可
Ooh, I
没
should
有
also
点
use
到
the
为止的说
communicator
法。
on you
你的眼睛跟得上吗？
and Ashlock.
你们这些笨蛋，我才是你
I
们的
should
对
also
手。
cut the extra Blemishine down for the stack, right? Let me switch out. Let's see. Let's do Wildmane.
我绝不会退缩半步。
Ooh, let's go Urgent Solvent. And then let me also get the plunger for gravel. No Fartooth though, it's Lord 11 already. Nothing I need to refresh. Ooh, Flametail. Oh, let's go Fartooth. I can stack now.
希望我们能堂堂正正决出胜负。
What should I do next? Let's refresh with a new shop. Oh, let's go. Flametail, I can bonus. I don't have any space though. Let me put Flametail
Maybe
down.
engine
Put this
跟得上
item
吗？
on you, so when I combine, I get the
挑战。
item back. Oh, Spectre. Let's go. And you can replace where Kura is before.
我现在的心情非常好
And。let me sell Kura. And Silver Ash for the third investor. Let's go. Got all three.
有什么指示吗？
Let's see. Let me show you. And
等了
then
好久了。
Wildmane. Let's refresh. Nothing I needed here. Refresh. Nothing again. What does this item do again? No, not needed. Oh, Ines. I can replace Flametail with Ines.
选好诱饵了吗？
您有指示？
Actually, let me put you
我
here so
现
you
在
take
的
more
心
damage.
情非常好。
Nothing really needed here. Let me upgrade actually. Refresh. Nothing I need again. Ooh, Blemishine and Flametail. Let me get Flametail. Let me sell
准备好了吗？
you and use the fund. Hell yeah, Degen. Who can I sell to get Blemishine? Let me sell you and
看战的
you,
事情
and
就交给
then
我。
sell that Ashlock also. And Blemishine
光芒
combine.
将坚守此地。
Nothing I really needed here to get the A. Let me put you with the investors. I should probably put Degen down also.
你可以去处理别的事了。
Wait, Degen and Wildmane have Swift. Oh, I saw my Wildmane already. Let's keep inside her for a little bit longer. Yeah, let's start. Okay, let's run. Let me buy the coin. Refresh. Oh, I can buy this from Mlynar. Blemishine. I don't need it already. Let's refresh. Refresh. Actually, raid grenade. And then refresh. Nothing I really needed here. Refresh again. Should I get the raid grenade? No. Oh, Nymph, you can't wait too late though. Ooh, Flametail, let's go. My bench is full again. Let's see. Let me. Who can I sell? Who can I sell? Actually, let me take Ashlock down and put the hammer on Degenbrecher. I'm gonna leave Kala. Ooh, and I'm out of PP. That's a bad one. Yeah, minus 10 health, that's bad. Let me take Fartooth down since I no longer need the stacking. Let me refresh. It is a queen and then refresh. Rihanna, should I buy you? Probably not. Nothing I really needed. Nothing again. Fartooth and Rihanna. Nope. Blemishine again. You can't wait too late. Nothing. Mlynar, let's go. Let me put you down. Who can I replace? That's Meteor. Yeah. Let me sell someone. Ashlock. Yeah. Refresh. Nothing again. Refresh. Nothing again. Oh, Flametail, let me get her. Let me sell Meteor. Let's go. It's double combo. Oh, Nearl. And Nearl again. Let's go. Let me sell Wildmane. 2 Nearls. Great. Let me move Mlynar and then Nearl continue. Pick out grapple for now.
我现在的心情非常好。
I need grapple so for the resilience. Actually, I can remove that since Nearl is a raid. Let me put
你希望我用
up.
多少时间解决他们？
Then
你希望我
the
用
front.
多少时间解决他们？
I think that's good. Grab
就
that
这里了。
tile. You can go to the
光
back.
芒
Flametail
将坚
can
守
stay
你的眼
here
睛
for the
跟得
DP
上吗？
recovery.
好的，接手任务
Let's。see, Swift. I have Degen and Insider right now. Do I have 6 Kazi? I have 6 Kazi actually. So you know what? Let's replace you with
可
Wildmane.
别一击就倒啊！
And then
就
Wildmane
你们
front, so you can't really
值
hit.
得我使出全力吗？可别一击就倒
Oh,
啊！
I
你
almost
可以
forgot
去
the
处理
item.
别的事了。
Let me put down Mlynar.
子弹很快，但解决争端的效率不一定高。
Sell you since I don't need you
子弹很快
anymore.
但解决争端的效率不一定高。
And I can sell Ines
我知道该
since
怎么
I
做。
no longer need another raid
不必命
operator.
令我。
And then actually let me put the grenade on Nearl. Then I want to
Grenade
get her from
太过敏
Nearl
了。
though. Yeah, I don't think I'm getting it. Yeah, let's start. Nothing I really needed, I think. Let's refresh. I can get the item from Mlynar. Let's refresh. Let's get a grenade for Nearl. Nothing again. Let's refresh. Oh, Mimic Matter. I can get Nearl
我
now.
将带头冲锋。
Ooh, and Muses. Let's go. We put you on again for now. And then convert you to a raid operator. Don't know why, but let's do it.
吃糖果吗？
Let's sell you, refresh. Nothing I needed again. Nothing again. Actually, did I buy you again? May not have had one though. Yeah, let's refresh. Nothing really against refresh. Oh, Mlynar. I should get you. Let me sell you guys. Wildmane, Ashlock, Fartooth,
干
and
架的事
Wildmane.
情就交给我。
随
And
时能
then
上。
now my second copy of Mlynar is down. Okay, let's see. Can replace one operator. Let me replace
这些
Gravel.
东西不配，这些东西不配我拔剑。
Should probably put in the front. And then
你希望我
move
用
you
多少时
here.
间解决他们？
And then you should I
我
place
将
in the
带
back
头冲
Mlynar?
锋
Actually, the front
我
Mlynar.
将尽除障碍。
And then Flametail
你
can
的
stay
眼
in the
睛
back.
跟得上吗？
Oh, I still need resilience.
我绝不会退缩半步。
Let me sell gravel, I think, to get the items back.
您有指示？
Yeah, let me sell you. And then Original Solvent on back Mlynar, and then wait no. Yeah, I need to convert you to resilience. That's the tough lunger, right? Yeah. Okay.
准备就绪。
不谋而合的
Let
想
me
法。
put this on Blemishine, then this. Now you're a resilience operator, and resilience back. Refresh. Oh, the nightclub pennant. I should get the. Let me sell you guys. Yeah.
不谋而合的
Sell
想
you
法。
and
让我先点根
you.
烟。
I think let's buy the
神情别绷
pennant.
那么
Let's put on Nearl.
好耐冇俾人
This is I sell you anyway. Let's
有啲唔
rush.
係好
Yeah.
慣。
Start.
受之微服之乐。
5 stash and 9. Bad run. Pretty decent. I got Fartooth pretty
我绝不会退缩半步，尾巴如流星一般。
Yeah, this is also
压舱冲锋，
I wanted to get like a 400.
情绪在这里没有用。
目标消失在视野里，可不好收。
I still have 92 seconds left. Look at the damage Degen is doing.
用你的武器告诉我，
Wait, I still have
快吧，还可以再快一点。
17,000. Yeah. Pretty good run. Well, thanks for watching.
不断的获
I think
胜
this is the
就不
end.
怕被人忘记。哼，就是这么简单。